Hey YouTube, this is my Yellow Rose Intarsia bandsaw box. Rose is made of yellow heart, poplar, pecan, signed and dated on the back, the wood's on the back. Top's made out of walnut. The box is made out of podoke, maple, walnut. Has 3 different trays. The little star is made out of yellow heart. Removable tray. There's a space underneath this tray. You're storing your little trinkets. And aha, a hidden drawer. How cool is that? Got a little magnetic latch. And then here's the frame of the box. Well, this is the first of a series of tutorials on making this box. I hope you enjoy. If you like it, just subscribe to my channel. You'll see the rest of them coming soon. Thank you. But I do want to remind you that you got to definitely check for square. You need to make sure that your blade's square to your table. That's very important. If you don't, then your box is going to be out of square. It's going to be a mess. Just like anything else when you're working with wood, you just got to make sure that that's taken care of. So my plan of attack here is I will probably start here. I'll cut in, stop at the corner, shut the bandsaw off, pull my blade back out. Come in here, I'll probably cut this corner out first, and then I'll end up with this in at the last. But then I'll come in here and I'll cut probably down here and cut out, get that piece out of the way. Then I'll come in here and I'll cut this. And I won't try to cut it all the way around in the whole pattern at one time. I'll probably cut chunks away. It's a little easier to deal with. I'm going to try to really stay on my line. I want this thickness to be uniform throughout, so on the box itself. So I'm gonna really pay attention to that. But if I get a little bit off, that's, you know what, nobody's ever gonna know that this hump's here and that little hump right there are different. So that, you know, it's just one of those things that you have to deal with when you're making a bandsaw box. So especially one that's a particular form like this, a little free form, it's not so important. It's not so much important, but on something like this, it's important because, you know, everybody knows what the state of Texas looks like. Go ahead and start cutting this out, and I was like, oh, here we go. Touch it. Let it come to a complete stop. Okay, completely stopped. I don't really want to stretch my belt out, so I'm just going to put my thumb over it. Just be careful doing this. You don't want to cut yourself. Up. All right, let's turn around. Let's make this next cut. Look at that. I can do some stuff with that. That's a nice, that podoke and the maple and the walnut maple. And then of course these are going to come off. But I'll have this, you can make an ornament out of it. All kinds of things you can do with those. So when I hooked my desk collector up, I usually do wear my little RZ mask. I really like wearing it. I don't wear it all the time in the shop, but something like this. That podoke it's got a peculiar scent to it. I think it's probably not a good thing to be breathing it. So I'm going to don that, and I'm going to finish cutting this out. We have a rough cut state of Texas. I'm happy with that. I'll sand this till later on. After I've actually glued the bottom on, I'll do them at the same time. Don't sand this piece before you do this, because if you do, you're going to get a gap in here all the way around, because that you're going to get a little bit of that corner sanded down, and it's going to make a gap. So don't sand the bottom, don't sand the body of it without first attaching the back, the bottom. So it's real important. Okay, so now this double-sided tape, it just came right off. Easy peasy. I like that little method. It worked pretty good. And then this just peels off. It's really easy. So, but what I want to show you is that if you're careful now, since I glued this onto this blue painter's tape, what I'm going to try to do is be real careful here. And you'll have to kind of get an edge where you know it's hooked really well. The same thing I said, don't sand this and don't sand this until these are attached later on. Real important not to do that. I've made that mistake and it's a problem. So now I'm going to attach this pattern back. But what you could do too, if you want to, and I did this for a number of years, you can just take your pencil and you can just make a pencil line on this and then go around, and that would be your inside cuts, right? You could do that. I found I really like using my pattern. I made it so it gives me the inside line to follow. I can see the red line better, and so I'm just taking this pattern I took off the front, just attaching it back here, and I got it pretty close. First time, good. You know, I can just do that. That blue painter's tape will stick down there pretty good. And my plan is to cut this, and I could do it a bunch of different ways. I've done these boxes. I've done a couple of these boxes, so I've done it here. But I think I'm gonna do it here. And so this is I'm gonna cut into here, and I'm gonna go up here, and I'm gonna cut, and then I'm gonna stop. It is probably got enough spring in it, I'll be able to pull it back and pull my blade back out. Okay, I went ahead and tensioned my blade just a little bit more. I thought it was a little bit loose. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this up and get going on this piece here. I went ahead and lowered my head again here so that it's just barely above my piece. So it gives me a lot better control the closer the distance is between the guide bearings on the top and the bottom. So it's going to give me a little more control, and I'm going to go for it. Got enough gap, I think I can back my blade out. I'm going to be careful not to split the wood, but I'm going to be working it back out. There we go. Now I'm going to turn this around. We're going to go back in the other way. All right, here goes nothing. Back, it's going to be really nice. Get done. We'll sand it up, clean it up. It's going to be great. We'll cut this into, it's going to be the drawers on the inside. So it's important to save this. I'm going to use this again. I'm going to cut out my boxes that come inside here. So you see that?